try to zone out Mura. Itong 3 na ito, he will be the first one to fall. Actually, no, 4 people here. That's the Zonyas being laid out. Even the gravity field killing spree na si Kenjiu. And the lasers just hurt so much. Double kill na. And that'll be a triple kill as well.
Oh, hindi ko alam. Pero initiator, a full fall! That's the full front combo followed up by the slicing measure of the Beauties there. The Antagonist was also there para sa side ng University of the East. Now na pinuhos na ito ng Xavier University. 90k. Para sa ating goal. Oh my God! Ito na! Initiate na doon! They are on to the Ani. Pinagsak. Visual Maelstrom on the members of Vindicator Esports Club. Raynera with the rocket. Ito na rin. Si Rice taking on. Having a triple kill. Going for the carries. One-on-one sila ni Raynera. But format. Oh! Hey! Oh! Oh my God! Oh! Oh my God!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the LoL Collegiate League Summer Playoffs. I am, of course, Bad Boy Asarai with an I, and alongside you with me is...
And I'm classmate Neep. I should probably get a better name.
Yeah, we'll change that.
Yeah, that's
in the
pretty
next
lame.
game.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah, okay. We'll change that in the next game. So, of course, we do have the schedules for the playoffs as of Saturday. So, we'll get into the schedule. So, for 6 to 7 p.m., that will be FEU versus UST. Alright, so before we do get into the ban and pick phase, let's talk about like the structures.
Yeah.
The structure of how the playoffs actually work. So, care to explain?
All right, so for our playoffs, we have 2 groups. So
Yes.
the group playing today, that consists of UST, OLFU, and FEU.
Yes.
So these 3 teams will be playing in a round robin, single round robin. And then for teams that score the 2 wins against the other 2 teams, they'll get 3 points. However, if you just get 1 win, one point. And this will also apply for Sunday schedule as well.
Yes.
So
So if does that it means that Saturday teams, whoever gets the 3 points will advance to the finals.
yes, I believe so.
Yes, unless we have a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Which of course we have to have ourselves a best of 2 match and see who will progress to the finals. Same with Sunday's group. So it's all about the point system, guys. So we have the first set of the
Yes.
playoffs for Saturday's team tonight, as well as Lightning.
Yeah.
As well as next Saturday. So it's all about the point systems. All right, so you can see right now the faces of the captains, or
I believe it's just the reps of the team, not
representatives.
necessarily
Okay,
captains.
okay. All right, so representatives of each of our teams. So we're just waiting for the players to set themselves up. And of course, guys, we do know that as the playoffs start, we're also giving away these 4 Academy skins. That is the Academy Echo, Academy Vladimir, and the...
Yeah, the Ari and the Academy Darius.
Yes.
And
So,
they're pretty cool skins.
yes, be sure to stay tuned. Game 3 namin ibibigay ang codes na iyon. So if you guys are ready and waiting, please wait until Game 3 for us to give you the codes. Alright, so... Wait.
So yeah, we are just waiting for the players to get into the lobby and we can start on the game. And both teams, they've had their up and downs during the season, FEU and UST. It's going to be really interesting to see which teams come on top.
Yes, that's true. Especially now that we are in the 5.16 patch. And of course, the Juggernauts have been released. And
Yeah.
guys, to remind you, playoffs, hinayaan na tayo ni Professor Kai Rudir na i-unleash na ang mga Juggernaut champions. That is the Garen, the Skarner, the Darius, and of course my favorite, the Mordekaiser. So like, what is your insights on how these champions are played? Kasi may difference, diba? Like
Yeah.
for Garen, there's the villain. For Skarner, there's the
Crystal Spires.
the Crystal Spires. For Mordekaiser, it's the
Dragon.
How to Train Your
Yeah.
Dragon. And of course for Darius, I don't know, he's just the executioner.
Yeah, the passive is insane early
Yeah.
game. That's a free BF sword if you manage to proc those 5 blood stacks. So
Yeah.
really, all of those champions in their own rights are really strong. And I'm really excited to see these teams play today. I believe this is probably the first time we've seen 5.16 in the Philippines, so
Yeah.
we'll be champions
yeah,
from 5.16.
Yeah, that's true. Because, of course, kasama nga sa ano natin, like, whenever there's a rework champion, there's always the 2 weeks auto-ban.
Yeah.
Just so that the pro players, within those 2 weeks' time, can practice out the champions. And then pag unban na sila, we know now how they play it. Something like that. Of course, we're still waiting. Of course, we forgot to say, guys, lapit na ng Worlds.
Yeah, Worlds
October 31? Is that
I
correct?
believe that's the finals.
Oh,
However,
finals.
throughout October itself will be group stages, bracket stage, so
Yes.
lots of games throughout October.
Yes. And of course, with the championship coming up, we also have the championship skin, which is, I believe, the Callista.
Yeah, but you know what I'm most excited about is the championship mastery icons.
Oh,
the
yeah.
things that pop up above your head.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
yeah, I'm waiting to rock my EDG mastery icon.
Wow, really? You're
Well,
a fan of EDG?
Yeah,
For me, it's gonna be TSM.
I'm a really big fan of like those Chinese teams, EDG, LGD. I really like how Mako and PYL play. I feel like they're like probably the better supports.
Wow,
So-
being humble, the sneep.
Like better supports in the world.
Yeah, okay. Of course, we can learn a thing or two from those higher tier players. Get the feel of their playstyle and probably make our own playstyle out of that. It's how you play the game. With like, meron kang idol na support or idol na player. You try to imitate what they do and then try to discover your own playstyle from that. That's, I think, how I learned how to Mordekaiser before. I was watching Scar, I think season 2, do a mid lane Mordekaiser, and that's when I fell in love with the Mordekaiser playstyle.
So have you been picking up Scar with this recent changes?
I
mean, have you been picking up Mordekaiser, not Scara?
Yeah, if I have a support with me that I know, so he knows
Yeah.
how I play, we have good synergy, I go for Mordekaiser. But if I'm going for solo queue, probably not, because it's a little bit dangerous. Like Mordekaiser, he can get an advantage even when you're even in lane because of the passive from his Harvester's Sorrow, the one that he gets full XP.
Yeah, that's
from
really
the lane.
strong.
Yeah, but like if you get behind, it feels like you can't get back from it. That's how I feel with the Mordekaiser. I don't know if that's not true, but for me, it's something like that.
Yeah, because like if you don't get that advantage, you're just really behind actually.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's
true.
the only advantage you get from playing Mordekaiser in that bot lane.
Yeah.
The XP.
And the Dragon
Yeah,
control.
if you're not ahead in XP, then there's not much point in playing that. You're just gonna be weaker than the AD carry. However, it's really hard to actually fall behind from what I've noticed. He's just so strong in that laning phase. He has so much damage. Really strong wave clear. He can farm under turret really well. He can shove the lane really well.
and his sustain's not
And
bad too.
yeah, and he has the W that gives that sustain. So lots of utility coming in from Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and the one with the Mace of Spades that they changed
Yeah.
it when you do 3 hits and the third hit is like power level over 9,000.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's how powerful Mordekaiser is now. All right, so I think we are about to start the match between FEU and UST. So, insights on what the picks of these players can do. Like I heard you talk to me about was it I think all GT Neil who was picking up the Skarner.
No, actually Raze has picked up a lot of Skarner in the
Raze.
past couple of weeks. I've known because I've been playing with him during practice and stuff. So
Yes.
it's going to be really interesting to see what they decide to pick, what they decide to ban. And we are now into the pick and ban phase. This is FEU versus UST, the playoffs.
Yes, and right off the bat, a ban on the Riven. So, actually, last week I think it was the one of the teams from LCL as well who picked the Riven twice. Like there was this one team and another team, I forgot the names, and they were actually wrecking the top lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, very strong in terms of like the snowball type of play style. I think it was Zykan as well who picked up the top lane Riven.
Yeah, we do see that the new Juggernauts have been banned
Oh my
out
gosh,
from
right off the bat.
UST side. Mordekaiser
Yeah.
is now gone. Darius is gone. Thresh banned, so that is a target ban onto Schnitzel. He's actually one of my role models. Like when I
Wow.
see Schnitzel play Thresh, I'm like, wow, that guy's good. And while the third Juggernaut was banned, Skarner,
Yes.
the fourth one's still open, so that leaves that leaves
Garen,
Garen
yeah.
up for the taking.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like Garen's the least wanted Juggernaut out of all. It is, in my opinion. Like his playstyle is more of like, when you see a villain, let Garen go for the villain and then just work off of that.
Yeah.
Because he deals true damage onto the villain itself with the I think the auto attack and the spin
I
to
think
win.
it's just every single skill,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
including the ultimate.
Yes.
However, looking back at the pick and ban, we do see FEU decided to opt for that Alistar as that first pick. I don't really agree with this first pick, actually. I feel like Alistar isn't really the highest priority champion in the current meta. Azir is still left open, for example, and they do still have that Gangplank open. UST and FEU both played a lot of Gangplank. We've seen it in the past. I believe the mid laner of UST had an amazing game in the playoff qualifiers against Ateneo, where he had a really strong Gangplank mid. So Gangplank's still open, and it looks like they are not going for those newer champions, sticking for their safety champs and their comfort picks.
Yeah, it looks like FEU with the starting 3 picks want to give Jinx a lot of leeway in the clashes so that she'll be able to auto-attack to her heart's content. And actually, just going back to the video that we saw where Kairu and I think Shinbu were shouting, oh, that was where I think the Jinx got a quadra kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably that's what FEU are trying to pull off right now.
Kiddo is an insane Jinx player. He was my teammate back in Naga, back in the spring season, and Jinx is his favorite champion, so he's really comfortable
Yes.
on this pick. So FEU, lots on the line, going for their safe picks, making sure they just get the clean win. Even though they don't want to do anything flashy, they don't want to pull anything new just yet. Just going for the very safe, very solid picks.
Yes.
However, this is a new patch. The meta has shifted, and this might be a problem, but let's see how it goes.
Yes. Also, FEU were actually hovering over the Gangplank like a very short time, and then guess like what you said, they're just wanting to go in for the for the safer picks, their comfort picks. As for UST though, we do see the Corki as a first pick, and then the second pick into the Rek'Sai here. So it looks like they're gonna be wanting some very aggressive early game pressure with that Rek'Sai, possibly go over the walls with tunnel, and then another Diana mid lane with a teleport. So like this is one of the metas that I've seen formulating in the LCL, where the mid laner would pick the Diana and then be like that a distraction, like go in with the Lunar Rush and then immediately use your Zonias, and then the opponents would just try to kill you, and then you're in like a very bad position that the opposing team will just envelop around you and then get a kill.
Yeah, and there's not that much burst from the FEU side as well.
Yes.
They do not have that many ways to deal with Diana burst. So if Diana decides to go in, Orianna's not going to do that much initial upfront damage. Jinx isn't going to do that much initial upfront damage. And I feel like this is a really good pick for this UST side.
Yes. Really, it really looks like they just want to protect the Jinx right now.
Definitely.
Especially with the Gnar present there.
Yeah, and we did see that there was a problem into the champion select, so we will be remaking that soon. I believe with the same pick and ban, and UST, I believe it is UST who still has the last pick.
Yes. So their picks were the Corki, the Rek'Sai, the Diana, and the
Janna.
Janna.
So they still have that top laner up for grabs, and
Yes.
Gangplank's still open, and against the Gnar, I feel like you could kind of risk it.
Yeah.
You are in trouble with the...
Yes.
You are
in trouble.
with the barrels. Gnar can deny those barrels in the laning phase. However, Gangplank's just so strong right now with those barrels.
Yeah, I think 60% armor ignore.
Yeah, armor penetration with those barrels. It got nerfed to 50, but
Still OP.
still really strong.
That 10% doesn't really matter.
that
if
patch hasn't came up yet, so we're still on that 5.16 Gangplank.
Yeah. Especially when I think the barrels can crit themselves.
Yeah.
So like you can go for the crit plank build.
Yeah, and we actually have seen the Gangplanks build double Infinity Edge, actually.
Trinity Force.
Going for that extra damage.
Yeah.
Trinity Force would be pretty cool, but...
Yeah,
No.
I kind of like the Triforce first with the GP,
Yeah.
then going for the Infinity Edge. Honestly, in some situations, if I want to go for a more bruiser-ish kind of gangplank, I prefer the Iceborne Gauntlets. But I don't know, it's just my preference, I guess. I think it would be more beneficial for the Triforce. Does give you a better damage spike when you finish it off compared to the Iceborne Gauntlets. But after all is said and done, they are hovering over the Shen.
Yeah, so very safe top laner. Does have that split push presence, but at the same time, nothing really fancy. None of the new carry bruiser top laners we've been seeing in other regions and we've been seeing in solo queue. So no Fiora, no Gangplank, no Yasuo,
the Fiora
no
with
Olaf.
the Hydra Bloodthirster.
Yeah, those are really strong picks as we've seen yesterday in the LPL qualifiers, which were also played on 5.16. However, a lot's on the line right here. A trip to the finals of the LCL is at stake. So both teams, first game of the night, they just want to go for something really safe, get that win, and just move on to the next game. Maybe in the next games, maybe in the third game, maybe in the second game, you might see some of the more crazier stuff. However, very safe, very standard team comps from both of these teams.
Because like during the entirety of the LCL term, there's always like these very unorthodox picks that we like to see. But now, because it's the playoffs, because the pressures they're onto these players, they are going back to what they feel is comfortable for them, as well as their team composition. Also, going into, I think the second time I've seen the Lissandra, she does lack in terms of the damage, but the 5.16 patch, if I'm not mistaken, if she does use the Frozen Tomb on herself, it does heal her.
Yeah, and X-Coheed is a really good Lissandra player, and with those buffs, with those changes, X-Coheed is just going to have a really good time on this Lissandra. And surprisingly, it's not an Orianna.
Oh yeah, oh right, it wasn't a pick.
Oh, okay.
It was just hovering there.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
so
I forgot to mention that.
Lissandra's just going to do such a much better job of dealing with the Diana, like we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Once Diana goes in, you can easily just pop that ultimate onto Diana, lock her up a bit. You have like 2.5, like 2 seconds roughly, where you can deal damage on Diana and burst her before she can hourglass.
That's true.
Just a really good response to this comp that UST has going on right now.
And like looking into the composition for UST, their solid type of engage would probably be just the Shadow Dash of the Shen, as well as the Diana's Lunar Rush. I mean, there's little reaction time that you can do unless the Rek'Sai does going for the Flash Unburrow. But in terms of like tunneling in and then unburrowing, that's still very easy to dodge, in my opinion. So with, like you said, with the Lissandra using her ultimate to stop the Diana's Lunar Rush in, possibly it might go into Shen, Zycan here in the top lane to go in for the Shadow Dash if they want to get an engage for themselves.
Yeah.
But of course, FEU still has some form of disengage with the Gnar ultimate, possible with the Gragas explosive cast, and of course the ever so slow, a little bit slower headbutt of the Alistar, of course, with the 5.6.
Yeah, that's been tripping me up the entire, like throughout the weeks. I've been messing the combos so many times with this new Alistar change.
Yeah, because before really it was like this when you tap it into the keyboard. Now it's like this.
Yeah, now there's like really distinct timings on when to pulverize.
Yeah.
Like at certain ranges. So at max range, the timing just got completely changed from what it was last patch, and that keeps messing me up in like solo queue in practice.
Yes.
Like I've been having trouble landing that. Let's see if Simond will have a better time. And just going back, looking at these comps, it's going to be really interesting. You've got like two opposite spectrums on these teams. USC has a more split push, skirmishy type of team with the double teleport, with that Rek'Sai ultimate. They can assert a lot of pressure on the map at the same time, and they'll probably be going for the really strong objective control, invading the jungle, securing the dragons. On the other hand, FEU with the very strong team fighting comp, so much AoE disruption, so much CC there, and you've got that hyper carry Jinx in the back line. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these two team comps, team styles play out in this matchup right now. And just a reminder,
of course, guys, we do want to remind you that the Academy Skins giveaway will be at Game 3. So that is, of course, the Academy Echo, the Vladimir, the Ari, and of course the Darius. So medyo may magka-bad boy yung ano natin, last one. Look at this right behind me. He has even spikes on his shoulders.
That's a really nice skin. Yeah. And you get all 4 of them, not just one of them. You get all 4 of those skins.
Yes. We will be giving out the codes at Game 3, so be sure to watch at that point in time. Now we're just going into the loading screen, and we'll be shortly going into the Summoner's Rift. Alright, so anything else like 5.16 metas that could be possible when, I don't know, nagsimula na silang mag-unorthodox picks, go in or go broke?
I feel like the biggest change is just in the top lane pool. The top lane pool has expanded so much. There's a lot more viable champions, and there's a lot more strategies that teams can run.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more emphasis on making sure your top lane snowballs, making sure your top lane wins. However, with these team comps we see right now, they're very 5.14, 5.15s, very safe. No hyper carry in that top lane with very standard picks all around.
Yeah, because like before, the top lane was mostly utility types like a Maokai, a Nautilus, Shen, and then probably the only carry that I've seen would have been the Rise.
When he was still strong.
Yeah, when he was still strong. But then when they nerfed him, it just went back to having the utility in the top lane where they'll engage or just farm in the top lane, get more tankier, and then the teams won't have an answer when you're that tanky. All right, so skin-wise, we do see that Zycan going in for the Sub-Zero.
Yeah, you gotta report Corki. Corki no skin.
So they're breaking the meta of the skins. So guys, we're now getting into the first game of the LoL Collegiate League Summer Playoffs. This is a match between FEU and UST. So in the blue side, we have FEU in the top lane. It's going to be McRory with the Gnar in the jungle. It's going to be all GT Neil with the Gragas in the mid lane. It's going to be Coheed with the Lissandra. And in the bottom lane duo, we have Kiddo for that Jinx, and his support will be Siment on the Alistar.
And on that UST, on the red side, we will be having Zycan on that Shen. For the jungle, we will be having Raze playing Rek'Sai mid lane, James Meister on that Diana. And for the bot lane duo, we will be having Corki being played by MEFYJ and Schnitzel on that Jana.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Mefij.
Mefij.
Or Mefij.
Mefij. Really interesting. Interesting name choice.
Yeah. All right, so we have a pause here, but of course, that's just a minor interruption into the playoffs. Again, guys, medyo sinamplako na ako dito, but we are reminding you, Academy Skins giveaway at Game 3. That is the Academy Echo, the Academy Vladimir, the Academy Ari, and the Academy Darius. So if you guys are a fan of being, school boys and girls in, like, I don't know, Japanese scene, do you call it? Yeah, you could go for that skin.
Let's throw in... I don't know. Those are really the only Japanese schoolish type of things.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of slice of life or some, the scenarios like in the schools. So we're going into the Summoner's Rift right now, and it looks like it's gonna be a 5-man death squad here for FEU. Gonna go into their own red side, but it looks like there's a ping onto their own blue side here. But it's looking like the Great Wall of China defensive position here from UST will just place themselves in front of their river entrances, put in those trinkets. And I think James Meister there did see the members of FEU. Now he sees them, and they're just going to back off. Looks like FEU here don't want to give any free non-vision for UST to work with. Like, they want to know where Raze will position themselves.
And this is really smart. They're spotting out for any potential lane swaps, any potential starting zones. And this is really good considering how strong of an early game UST has at the moment.
Yes, yes, yes.
So let's take a look. They are now going back to the default positions. We will be seeing a very standard lane coming in. No lane swaps, no nothing. And it looks like Rek'Sai will actually be starting from the red side instead of that blue side. So FEU was able to somewhat manipulate the starting position of the UST jungler with that invade.
Yeah, so they kind of know now where Raze will be positioning himself. In a top lane gank, I think if Gnar just uses, or McRory rather, uses his hop efficiently, he doesn't need to use the flash in order to get away from a gank, as well as just wasting the time of Raze.
Yeah, but at the same time, if the Rek'Sai is able to properly time that unburrow, as Nar's about to hop, he can cancel it. So
That's true. That's true. It's a gamble.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah, but like I said, like they're putting the pressure onto McRory rather than putting the pressure onto Kiddo, because Kiddo is the damage dealer of FEU. They just want to give him as much free time or as less pressure in the bottom lane to get the farm rolling for himself. So we do see right now just the farming situations for these two teams. There will be the Crescent Slash, or the Q coming out of James Meister, hitting Coheed there. Just a greetings coming in as the playoffs has just begun.
Yeah, very safe, very standard early games right now. However, it's only 2 minutes in the game. Anything can happen within the next couple minutes. The junglers will be starting to finish their camps around the 3:20 mark, and we will be looking to get a gank. We do see that Raze actually has opted to go for that level 3 topside single buff star, and will probably be looking for a gank in that mid lane, possibly that top lane. So really smart pathing actually coming in from Raze, and here comes an invade coming in from Raze at that blue buff, however, was too late. And all GT Neo will be able to smite it away.
There's a level advantage here for GT Neo, but it looks like they're gonna go and tussle in the blue side river. Raze does take some damage as Neil takes slightly reduced damage because of that drunken rage. And now knowing that Neil is, or rather Raze is only level 2, and he did get the scuttler in the upper side of the jungle, or upper side of the river, they know now that his blue is up and his ganks may be reduced somewhat because he doesn't have the burrow, or rather the tunnel.
Yeah, the
available
biggest
when he burrows
thing
in.
from that gank from that early invade is that McRory now knows that there's no pressure in the top lane, and he's just shoving this lane up so hard. This is extremely important to do when you're playing against the Shen. As that Shen, your clear isn't that strong, so you just want to shove it up, and it puts so much map pressure in that top side as Shen can't clear the wave that fast, and Rory's just free to do whatever he wants. And knowing that Raze is probably in the bot side right now, he's just free to shove that lane in with no repercussions.
Yeah, so that's really smart play coming in from FEU. They're taking advantage of what UST did in terms of like a misplay, in my opinion. Like, they wanted Raze to get that scuttler. There is some benefits to getting the scuttler early, but in terms of like, you know, having the level advantage as well as the buff advantage, I think that's a misadvantage in their point.
Yeah, Raze wasn't able to secure that blue buff from the FEU side. Just, I believe, a couple seconds too slow, and here comes a headbutt pulverized combo.
Yeah,
Lots of
Mephiche doesn't
damage.
get the choppers there, but they do take himself some extra damage with the pulverized headbutt combo coming in from Simond. But still, no pots will be burned, as he does have the Eye of the Storm coming in from Schnitzel here with that support Janna.
And what's interesting to know is that there's no big CS advantage being made in any of the lanes. The CS in all the lanes is really, really even right now. And
Yeah, so probably there's gonna be breaking up around when these laners do hit level 6. Possibly when the Shen has his Stand United, the Gnar with the TP, as well as that Mega Gnar ultimate available for himself. And of course, Gragas, all GT Neil with the explosive cask will be able to possibly get a pick onto a lane here.
Yeah, definitely. However, FEU not in a rush to end the game by no means. They've got a really strong late game scaling team comp with the Jinx as their hyper carry, and with the Lissandra as that secondary carry there to provide the wave clear for their team comp, just to shove the lanes up really fast and to break the siege. And he also has that pick potential with the Glacial Prison.
Yeah, so it looks like they're just wanting to take things nice and slow, and then UST, do they have a timer right now on themselves? Like, we need to make a play because our team composition is a skirmish type. We can't force these objectives while FEU is still weak. And looks like they're going to do it right now, as there's a knockup onto Kiddo. They'll be forced to flash away. Nicely done headbutt coming in from Simon, and the top laners will react as they did teleport as well as the Stand United. That was a close headbutt onto Raze. If he didn't have a flash, he would have died there.
Yeah, that was a really, really smart play by Simon, not immediately blowing that headbutt right away once he saw Raze, saving it, popping that pulverize, then walking, positioning behind him, popping that headbutt, getting that nice turret damage, burning the flash as well, and that gank coming in from USD just turned itself over on the head.
Yeah, but still, no kills were given that clash or skirmish in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
But you saw there immediately that UST wanting to take the first aggression into FEU, just because we did say again that FEU are looking for the slower pace game. And right now, it's a 100 gold advantage, but still, UST are not able to get themselves a pick. Possibly James Meister, if he goes back again, if he finishes an item or a ward coverage from UST allows him to open up any lanes, possibly the bottom lane at this point, because I don't see Gnar going down anytime soon when it is in Mega Gnar form. But look at this, Zyken putting a lot of damage onto Makarori. Even Makarori using the Hyper. Wow, look at that damage output.
Yeah, and the thing is, Zyken still has teleport available as well, so now the pressure that McRory did have in the early game, where he was shoving that lane all the way up to the turret, is flipped, with the Shen actually being the one dictating the flow of the lane right now in that top lane. And for the most part, within these first couple minutes of the game, we won't be seeing much. The moment where we'll be seeing a lot of action pop up is roughly 14-15 minute mark. Once the Corki starts picking up that Triforce, once UST gets that power spike, they've got a really certain timing attack to win the game, and that's going to be with the Triforce and with the Sightstone on the jungler, where they can just set up vision control, set up for the objectives, and fight when they know they're stronger than the enemy team.
Yes. And of course, we do know how powerful that Corki Triforce spike is. It allows you to get objectives such as the turrets, the dragon, and kills if it is enabled for them. Looks like FEU here not allowing UST to set up any vision at all, as they send Simon and GT Neil in the river side of the dragon just to counter the wards and to get their own wards as well.
Yeah, and we do see that Raze counter jungling in the top lane. Will he decide to cancel the recall, go for that tower dive in the top lane? I feel like going for the tower dive isn't the smartest thing. Raze knows that as well and will instead be just...
Yeah. It's kind of dangerous since Zyken did take a little bit of a beating there. He was put down to 50 HP. I think they would have gone into it if he was full HP, but still there is the...
Rage.
Yeah, the Rage of the Gnar already available for him. And then a two-man Gnar ultimate is very possible in the top lane, being that it is a narrow lane that you can get hit into the turret, into the side of any of those, and then you're still in turret range. And of course, that Bomby Cinder does get the turret aggro. So if rather Zyken gets stunned there, he might take some unnecessary damage, be forced to flash out, or get killed in the process as well.
Yeah, definitely. And still, we do see that lots of pressure being put onto this top lane. GT Neil has worked his way to the top lane, and here comes a taunt. And let's see if GT Neil goes for that counter engage, deciding to wait his time, going for the more patient, sure kill approach to this gank.
Yeah, because like, I think also the reason why they're positioning themselves in the top lane is because Zyken is one of the players who can actually give you a shield, or rather, the shield and the immediate response. So why not just go to the root of the problem, kill Zyken and then force an objective? This might be what the thought process of FEU is right now as to why GT Neil is wasting a lot of time in the top lane.
Yeah,
that's giving a lot of farm for Raze.
Just thinking of why, I think the main reason why Neil decided to not go for that gank in the top lane is if he revealed himself in the top lane, and if that gank didn't work out in a death on Zyken, that would have been a free dragon for UST, as Zyken still had his teleport available, still had his ultimate available, and Raze was already at that dragon pit.
Yeah, look at this. All of those crescent blades. Oh, they're going to go in onto Raze right now. There's explosive cast, but the Stan United from Zyken actually saves Raze, and now they're in a 2v2 situation with GT Neil very low in HP. He will go down. Jace Meister with the first blood of the game. 16,200 for UST, 15,100 for FEU.
And what a clutch Stand United coming in from Zyken right there. Raze living with a sliver of health. One more auto attack from Gnar was all he needed to die. However, that taunt came in just at the perfect time right there.
Yes, and now you see here that Simon will go in onto Mafeej there. But whoa, Kiddo taking so much damage. Here's a teleport coming in from Zyken. Can they survive? There's the Monsoon. Will not get a kill. And James Meister, or actually, it was James Meister. I thought it was
Double
Zyken.
teleport, mind games.
Mind games, man. But the
That's a
second
free dragon.
kill, yeah. So the second kill of the game goes to James Meister and the free dragon for UST. And the skirmish composition is now working out for them.
Yeah, and this is definitely what UST needs to get the head start. Once they get this dragon, once they get this first objective, they'll have a pretty significant position in terms of how strong they are over FEU. We should expect Raze to probably be going for that Sightstone. He does not have enough gold, unfortunately. But UST just really needs to start making their presence known on the map, getting those wards down and start taking turrets. Bot lane turret and top lane turret are fairly good objectives to take right now. And
Yes.
I feel like they should just go for it right now.
Yeah, and they do have... Actually saw that when it was still a 2v2 in the bottom lane. Mafeej with the full Gatling gun phosphorus bomb combo
that
onto
hurt.
Kiddo. Put him to 50% HP, and that was before James Meister was there. He was just teleporting for the pressure. He got the kill, but the effort was from Mafeej damage alone. Possibly
Corky just does so much
Yeah.
damage in that early game. I think he had I think Mafeej went for a Sheen
Yeah,
first,
he
which
had a
was
Sheen
why
first.
there was so much damage. That 125% amplified auto attack doing
Yeah,
work.
but still, man, you have to admire how much power that Corky does have in the when he does get that Sheen. And compared to when regular auto attack AD carry gets themselves a BF sword, there's just so much more that you can do with that Sheen.
Yeah, and speaking of items, we do see that the mid laners have picked up their first core item. Lissandra going for the Rod of Ages, going for a more slower paced item. Like we said, FEU has that really slow scaling team comp, so not in a rush to go for that really strong power spike with perhaps the tome.
Yes.
I can't think of the tome, the one that procs the Grievous rooms.
Morellonomicon.
Yes, Morellonomicon. For some reason, I couldn't remember the name of that item.
It's
So,
alright, man.
Lissandra
Morello.
opting to go for the Rod of Ages
Yeah.
rather than the Morellonomicon.
Yeah, I think she wants to get that extra HP.
Yeah.
Because I saw James Meister spamming out his Qs and putting a lot of hurt onto Coheed in the mid lane. So I think that extra HP will be a bit beneficial for him. But in top lane, Rory will actually get knocked up, but he does time his hop perfectly and does get away from that potential kill onto himself.
Yeah, if that knockup did manage to cancel that hop, that would have been a flash burn in that top lane. That would have been a really good gank. However, still making his presence known in that top lane with that gank right
Yeah,
there.
because like, I will be a bit repetitive in this. Medyo silamplakan ako dito, but every time you do a gank in a lane, even though if it's not a kill or a flash burn, just the pressure puts the players on their toes, especially in this kind of competition, where it's already in the playoffs. They might choke in some point, you know, just because of that pressure. It happens, man. Players are people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And choking is a very common thing in esports in general.
That is true. Right. So we see right now that Raze is positioning himself near Coheed's spot there. He was paying quite a bit as the mid laner of FEU takes another to the damage. Oh, they're going in onto him. There's the Frozen Tomb onto James Meister. But so much shield coming in from the Stan United, from Zyken. And now OGT Neil is in no man's land as Mac Rory has no rage bar to do a counterplay for himself. Will this be the mid-tier 1? I think it might be.
And whoa, hold that thought as here comes even more action coming in. The rocket will not kill Schnitzel.
All right, as we do see right now that UST will re-engage onto Simon. He does use the unbreakable will, but the will of the cow will be broken in just a few short moments as a knock-up onto Schnitzel. Rather, Coheed will put him down and almost gets the kill onto Schnitzel, but to no avail. Also forcing the flash out of McRory as he did not have the hop over the wall. So
3-for-0 trade
Yeah.
from that flash right there, and that just came from a really good response by the UST team. It all started with that gank from Neil, which failed as right when he went for that gank, Rek'Sai was in that mid lane. Shen had that Stand United available as well, and it went from a 2v1 to a 4.
a 3v2 before McCrory teleport in, he was like a few seconds late.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they should have synchronized themselves more. That they said, "Oh, McCrory, we're gonna do a gank into the mid lane. Be sure to have your Meganar form just so that you can stop Zyken from teleporting in." Because Zyken was there for earlier there for like 2-3 seconds, and that made all the difference because that shield on the James Meister was enough that the damage from Neil as well as Kohi didn't get the kill onto him.
Yeah, and this is really bad news for FEU right now. They've got the 2K gold advantage, the 3K gold advantage at the 17-minute mark, and now I believe Corky just picked up his Triforce. We didn't see that.
Be a lot of damage.
Yeah, James Meister picked up that long rod as well, so lots of damage, lots of items coming in from this UST side right now, and FEU still going for those aggressive plays with this top lane gank right now.
Yes, there's a teleport coming in from, I think now it's gonna be James Meister. The mind games is real, but a nice two-man ultimate from McCrory will stun the three members rather, of UST, as it looks like FEU can do themselves a turnaround. They're gonna try to go in onto Zyken there, but he'll just shadow dash away. So FEU did make that pay off.
Yeah, definitely 2 for 0 trade right there in the top lane, and that will be a free turret for FEU as well.
Yes, but they do leave Kiddo in the bottom lane to defend himself against Mafij as well as Schnitzel, though I think he is doing a pretty good job. His auto-attack range has been harassing Mafij quite a bit.
Yeah, and that bot lane duo from the UST side doesn't really have that much tower dive potential with that Corky and Janna. They don't have that tank with all the CC to just tank that turret.
Yeah,
so.
unlike the Alistar who can Unbreakable Will and just, you know, soak up so much damage from the turret.
So this is probably just going to be a turret take coming in from this UST side.
Yes.
We should expect the Corgi and Janna to just go for the turret. Then Janna should probably start warding the bot side as Dragon is up in 5 seconds, and that's the next big objective on the map right now.
Yes. Can they take it though? Mafij is trying to put a lot of damage onto the turret itself, but Kiddo actually doing a pretty good job of clearing the wave with just the bazooka or the rocket in his hand, or her hand rather. Does have to recall back. Can he get his Infinity Edge?
I believe
he can.
So.
Yeah.
That is an Infinity Edge for Kiddo. So a really huge power spike coming into this Dragon fight right there. And with those 2 kills in the top lane, I feel like FEU really has a chance to win this team fight right there, as FEU does have that superior team fighting comp with all that CTC, with all the knockup.
Yes, as well as James Meister not finishing the Zonias yet. It is a secondary item for him. He did go in for the Natural Streak for the extra damage. And, well, UST take themselves a second dragon.
Yeah,
FEU,
not fast enough.
Yeah, FEU weren't fast enough. And they did, or rather, I think they were just a bit too worried because they had to recall for Kiddo so he could get his Infinity Edge, and when he tries to go back into Dragon Pit, there won't be enough time for him to fight for the dragon. It's already gone. So I think a little bit of a misplay there from FEU, and UST with a nice timing.
Yeah, and the biggest thing was that because Simon went to the top lane to go for the gank, they had no wards on the bot side, they had no vision of that dragon, so they couldn't just run into the Dragon Pit and immediately. They had no vision. There's an opportunity to get picked if they did decide to do so.
Yes.
So going a bit safer, conceding that dragon, and that is 2 dragons for UST now.
It's always important to have vision of whatever you do in League of Legends. It allows, I think, like vision is, if not the most important, one of the most important mechanics that you have to learn.
I'd
Warding.
put vision probably as the second most objective to take on the map in terms of what you can take on the map. Turrets are probably the biggest objective to take on the map, as not only does turrets provide vision, turrets provide map control, they provide pressure. So, but then after those turrets, after you get those turrets, putting vision, putting wards down on the map is just really important, and that's probably one of the bigger keys to winning a game and getting a really clean game right there.
Yes, you've heard that, guys, from a challenger player as well. You do know that Neep is the support for Naga Esports, as well as one of the top tier support players in the Philippines. I'm giving you a compliment. Just take it, man.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, all right. So we do see right now that Neil is actually positioning himself in the bottom lane as he goes in onto Schnitzel. He gets the pick with explosive cast, and Schnitzel will be forced to flash away. There's the Mega Death Rocket into the face of Schnitzel.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, if only that was a crit.
Zyken's ults have been on point this entire game, just barely making people survive.
Yeah. And you see
Pause.
there again, such a nice shield from that Stand United. Again, if only Kiddo, I think, had a crit with that auto attack, would have been enough.
I don't think he prayed to RNGesus before this game.
RNGesus. The random number generator. If you guys don't know, that is the god that we pray to in terms of crit chance. I don't know if you play card games, if you draw a good card, you pray to that dude.
They needed to add dodge back into the game because like back in season 1, the Phantom Dancer with that 30% dodge.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And the Ninja Tabi as well.
Yeah, Ninja Tabi and Phantom Dancer provided dodge, so Jax with the almost 100% dodge, man.
So OP. As they're gonna go now into Coheed, but Coheed will just dash away. Simon is actually just gonna look into the brush, uses the Unbreakable Will, but there's a knock-up onto Kiddo. Or yeah, actually with a nice Shadow Dash compliment from his teammate as they do get themselves a pick-off to the ADR of FEU. There's a teleport coming in from McCrory, but is it too late? Actually not. They're picking off the members of UST one by one. They're very low in HP. Zyken will be forced to Shadow Dash away. Doesn't have his flash anymore, but there will be no follow-up from FEU, even though they do get to pick onto Kiddo.
Yeah, and this team fight right there is probably the biggest distinction between both of these team comps. We saw how easily Kiddo was able to get picked off, all those spells being burnt onto Kiddo. However, they stayed a bit too long and they let themselves get re-engaged upon by the FEU side. And FEU, with that superior team fighting, with that lockup and with the counter-engaged CC coming in, were just able to make that fight a bit more bearable in terms of their losses.
Yeah, but look at this. Coheed actually gonna go in, and he will get picked off. That was
really questionable.
Yeah, he was just walking
through all this CC, and then Worth. He got the move up though. He got it. He needs to type in all chat. Worth. Doesn't matter. Got blue.
Yeah, it's true. As it looks like FEU here want to get themselves the mid-tier 1. It is relatively low, though the wave clear from UST will be enough to stop this aggression from the FEU side. Also, I think the reason why that clash was going into FEU's favor, even though Kiddo was killed, is because like the damaging skills from FEU are all AoE. So like when they line up, you still have that Lysandra Q, the barrel, the Gragas. Even though if it's just minimal damage, it still stacks up.
Yep, and ooh, Schnitzel. Kiddo needs to be careful right now. Here comes another pick.
And he will actually be monsoon into the face of Mephiege, and Mephiege will give himself the rampage as he is 402, 198 CS, Triforce in hand. But Kiddo looks like he wants to get himself, I don't know, Phantom Dancer
or Static Shiv, but
I'll go for the Phantom Dancer because I'm not a Static Shiv player.
Probably isn't the best thing that FEU wants to be doing right now. Their AD carry, their hyper carry is 0-3 right now.
Yes.
No damage. And he's having a really hard game. Meanwhile, this Corki is 4-0-2. That's not what you want to have for this FEU side. You want to be putting all your resources into this bot lane. On the other hand, Kiddo's been left to 1v2 throughout most of the game.
Yeah,
and he's struggling.
And this is like the thought process that we had before, that we thought that FEU wanted to give as much pressure on the bottom lane, or at least pressure onto UST, and then no pressure for FEU so that Kiddo can farm himself up in the bottom lane. But the problem is, like, Neil has tried to do some ganks, but they were unsuccessful. Yeah. Kiddo didn't get himself any kills. Very close though, but still no kills. And then when he tries to solo farm, it's just UST being at the right place at the right time, getting themselves kills. And that's just, well, not working out right now for FEU.
Yeah, and now UST is actually really strong right now. If you take a look at the items, both of their carries have completed that 2-item power spike. The Blade of the Rune King being completed onto that Corki, and that Hourglass is now being built onto that Diana. And something to point out is that the Rek'Sai actually went for the Tiamat he's probably gonna go for that new
Titanic
item, the Titanic Hydra.
Yeah, I know. That's like I
It's
think
pretty cool with the Rek'Sai, where you got that AoE in the circle at the same time you got that cone sticking out.
that is true. As well as having.
Ooh, but they neglected this dragon.
Yeah, so it looks like FEU will get themselves the first dragon of the game, but the top lane, Zykan and Raze are looking to push it because McRoy doesn't have his teleport anymore. And as well, UST wanting to push this mid lane, but it looks like they're just going to back off as Neil tries to go in for it to engage onto Jace Meister. There's the Stan United coming out of Zykan. Will Jace Meister survive? He does have nothing to survive himself with, and he will go down. Looks like FEU will give themselves the mid-tier 1 as they wait for the creeps to go in. So finally, a kill that will result in a objective for FEU.
Meanwhile, Raze was able to get that top turret while with that with the Tiamat. Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it Tiamat? I pronounce it Tiamat.
I pronounce it Tiamat. However, I guess it's more of a tomato sort of thing.
Yeah. So it's either way.
Like as long as you don't pronounce things like Shako, or like if you like, it's good. You can pronounce like Shako any way you want, just not Shako.
Shamato.
Yeah, no. Just no.
All right. So I don't know. Just back to what I was talking. Oh wait, never mind. After the push, rather. UST will get themselves the mid-tier 1. And it looks like GT Neil in the side wants to get themselves a pick. But those are 4 members of UST raring and waiting for you to go in with your chubby big belly.
Yeah, but you've got to compliment Neil right there at the previous clash. Getting that pick onto James Meister, a really good explosive cast, followed up by that Lissandra ultimate. So
yeah, so there was no way for James Meister to do a counterplay.
Yeah, FEU teaching UST how to pick.
Yeah, it looks like Simon will get caught out here just a little bit. Nice damage from the Titanic Hydra, but whoa! Goal as Simon headbutts Raze into the red Sentinel pit. Or red Brumbleback, rather. All right, that was a nice headbutt. I have to say. Goal
Simon's headbutts have been pretty good.
Yeah.
The polarizes.
Yeah, why is it not a goalkeeper Alistar?
They've got they have a Alistar skin that's soccer related.
Yeah, the goalkeeper Alistar.
It's not a goalkeeper. It's more like a defender. Like the one with the...
Yeah, goalkeeper. Isn't that what it's called?
Is it goalkeeper Alistar? I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll check. I'm pretty sure it's goalkeeper. But, all right. So, he does push back Raze into the red Brumbleback. 5,000 gold still in the advantage of UST. But FEU right now with a momentum that they can work with, and it looks like they want to push this mid-tier 3 right now.
And there's no response.
Yeah,
Shen's just playing top lane. However, Raze is way back in base, and that's a free turret for FEU.
Yeah, and does Zykan have enough split push potential that he can trade that mid-tier 2 for a top-tier 3? I don't think he has, though, as he...
It's Sweeper Alistar.
Oh, Sweeper. Why did I say goalkeeper? I don't know, it sounds way better, goalkeeper Alistar.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like UST right now positioning themselves to take the mid-tier 2 as a revenge to FEU taking their own mid-tier 2. Right now, looks like the clash of the century for these two teams for game 1 only. Clash of the century for
actually
game 1.
going really smart play right here, setting up for the Baron. Well, baiting the Baron out by denying the vision and establishing vision around that Baron pit. They have really good skirmish, really good pick, and they have those items, so they can definitely force a fight right now. Just that they can't force the full-on 5v5 fight, but they can force a smaller fight.
Yeah, especially they don't want to force it inside the jungle.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, that's
the
because
Gnar,
the Gnar ultimate, the explosive
Alistar,
gas, everything. The AOE potential that FEU has will shine so heavily when you're in these confined spaces, yung masisikip na mga espasyo. Para medyo matagalog tayo ngayon.
Yeah, nosebleed.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Like, when I speak Tagalog, I feel nosebleed-ish. I don't know.
I haven't heard you cast in Tagalog before.
It's really difficult for me. I can't do it, man. I always revert back to my English casting. But...
yeah, I think I wouldn't be able to cast in Tagalog either. Like, I don't know why.
Shoutouts to Amplifier, or rather Shinbu. He's the guy in the GS team who can shoutcast Tagalog perfectly. That dude is great on Tagalog casting. So,
Great.
all right. So there is 1 minute onto the dragon rather, to be spawning for these two teams. For FEU, it will work well with them as they will get themselves, if they get the second dragon, a better pushing power.
Yeah.
But for UST, actually will help them as well, since it can counter out, soft counter. Oh,
Ooh.
right. Raze hits the face, or rather hits the wall with his face there. Okay, never mind. All right, so back to what I was saying. It can actually help at UST a little bit because it can soft counter the engage of FEU with that additional 5% movement speed. So
Yeah.
they can actually just maneuver a little bit away from when UST's activating the Righteous Glory and then trying to initiate with GT Neil with his explosive cask. So that can help them out. So either of these two teams can benefit really well from that dragon. Just back to what my first pronunciation of that is. Lemonation pronounces dragon as dragon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right?
No,
I mean,
no. It's dragon. Oh,
or
the pick.
they get the pick onto Raze, but he now tunnels over the wall and doesn't hit the wall. So nicely done there.
And that was
by
a flash
UST.
burnt by Neil right there, trying to get that pick.
Yeah, but oh yeah, Raze didn't flash. I thought he
No,
flashed.
he just used his burrow.
Yeah, so nicely done by him.
However, dragon's up.
Yeah, and I was actually gonna say that they were out of position, but that Void Rush from the Rek'Sai is just as powerful that he can reposition, or rather she can reposition very well. Will FEU force this? They don't have the Mega Gnar form for Koroy to go in, but Kohi here has the prowess to go in with the ultimate onto himself. There's the Super Mega Dash Rocket coming out of Kiddo as Simon with the Unbreakable Will tries to break the will of the members of UST. Who will get the first kill? It's going to be Methige onto Simon right now as he will flash over the wall. But Rory actually goes in, but Kohi with the kill as Zyken gets a double kill too. Kohi there, and Kiddo is in another 3v1 ADR position, but that is a 2-for-2 trade as UST is actually retreating onto the wrong side of the map right now, but they want to re-engage as Raze with the burrow will actually try to go in, but Kohi nicely timed. Zonius there will survive only to be killed by the Howling Gale of Bijana. Oh,
Yeah, and
so
Rory
close.
wants more, but nope.
Oh, so close.
So that was a 3-for-3 trade coming in, and it looked like FEU had that at the very beginning. And let's take a look at a replay of what exactly happened. I feel like the biggest thing to highlight is the Alistar play right there. Gets that two-man head pulverized right there, and he's just zoning out the entire team now. It's 4 people actually, focusing this Alistar for some reason. He's not doing any damage, he's just there. And meanwhile, Kiddo getting that free damage onto Schnitzel, and getting that free damage onto Zyken. And the taunt actually misses onto Kiddo. And Alistar MVP that fight.
Yeah. I don't know, like, when you see the Alistar going into your face, especially...
It's intimidating.
Yeah, it's kind of intimidating, but when you have like the item advantage over the Alistar, is it really that detrimental? I mean, you just have to have note of his cooldowns, and then he's just a lump of meat trying to be in your face.
Yeah.
Right? So,
But
still, when
UST
he goes,
took the bait.
yeah, they took the bait, and UST do pay for it with a 3-for-3 trade. Granted, they did give themselves the third dragon of the game, so that's gonna, like I've said, soft counter a little bit the FEU engage.
Yeah, they still have the 5k gold advantage, but as we said earlier, as this game progresses, it's going to be much harder for UST to take these victories, and that dragon fight could have been a really clean victory for UST if they were able to get the priority targets. And here comes the invade onto the blue buff.
Yeah, look at that cone AoE from the Titanic Hydra.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it's my newest favorite item in League of Legends because of the effects as well as the visual effects as well as its own item effects.
I really like the Zeke's Harbinger though. That's probably my favorite item at the moment.
Yeah.
The golden effect.
Yeah, because it's... Yeah, because you're support, man. So it's the item that you're gonna always buy.
Well, I've been building it on junglers as well.
Oh.
Like, I really like it on Echo Jungle. But
oh yeah, since like Tank Echo, you just want the utility and then make him tanky.
yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. No one play. I believe Echo was banned this game, so no Echo this game.
Yeah,
This time
hopefully
around.
we see it next game, as Echo, even though he was nerfed in 5.16 in terms of, oh, was it 5.15?
I believe it's 15.
Oh yeah, 15. That his base damage on his skills did get nerfed, and then AP ratios were heightened so that Riot was forcing, or rather, you know,
Encouraging.
encouraging, forcing, encouraging players to build again the AP Echo.
Ooh, he doesn't spot the pink ward.
Oh,
And Rory has teleport.
yeah.
Might see a ninja play coming in.
So they might actually just force themselves to go in for the split push, because FEU right now is looking pretty strong. Look at that. Void Staff, Rod of Ages, Moranonomicon, and the Zonius Hourglass completed for Coheed. So he's going to be a pretty difficult Cassandra to kill because of the HP bonus from that Rod of Ages, as well as the Zonius, but never
Well,
mind.
he's about to be
Mephiche
killed right
will
now.
actually counter that. But
Ooh,
oh!
that damage.
There's the QSS from Mephiche, but he does kill Coheed there. Even though I said that he's going to be a bit more difficult
The
to
rocket. Nope.
kill. Nope. Alright, so looks like UST can work with this, since they did kill the Initiator from FEU. So they're gonna give themselves the bot tier 2, probably the mid tier 2, but looks like they're just gonna back it off, as Raze will go into the jungle.
Yeah, so this is really smart by USC right now, but the only thing that I would do as well is that they really need to start developing ward coverage as well as applying this pressure. While they do have all this pressure, they don't have the vision, and that vision could facilitate more, but here comes the engage by FEU.
Yeah, and now Kiddo gonna get himself a kill onto Schnitzel right now. There's the Sand United, but will it be enough? No, it does not, as GT Neil will get himself the final pick onto that Mephiche. But look at the damage output onto Kiddo, as all of the members of UST gets rampant onto the face of the ADR of FEU. Looks like they just want to disengage right now, as Zyken will Shadow Dash away. Ooh, does he get hit by the boulder? No, he does not, as that Shadow Dash was correctly timed. Oh, they see Raze there, but he does have his tunnel. Will not hit the wall. Thank goodness for that. And James Meister, yeah, he just was there for a party, just giving some moral support for his teammates.
Yeah, and that was a really interesting team fight. Only, I believe that was a 1-for-2 actually in favor of FEU right there. And despite so many skills being burned, not much. And here comes a free dragon coming in.
Yeah, I think
from
it was just
FEU.
like a consolation prize that they got to kill onto Kiddo, because like the main threat right now for FEU is Coheed, and Kiddo is just a secondary damage dealer because he's the one who always gets the brunt of everything. And
Yeah,
Coheed,
hasn't had the greatest game right now.
yeah, but still, he has his items, so he has the damage output to be effective. As FEU tries to get the Dragon, they will actually get it. As the ultimate from Coheed actually goes in on Schnitzel, and Neil gets himself the Rampage, but Jace Meister did get the kill onto Coheed, and Coheed did a misplay there as he ultimates the support of UST. I think it will, because Jace Meister with a triple kill right now, and UST are in a good position to either get a kill or get themselves the Baron, but a quadra kill here for James Meister. Will they give him the Penta? Oh, the Dead Man's Blade is working for... Oh, there you go.
The
Jace Meister
unofficial
with the unofficial Penta kill.
And that was just great collapse coming in from Raze and James Meister, immediately isolating X-Coheed during that last fight. X-Coheed was not able to do that much during that fight, and the positioning from the FEU members were very split.
Yes.
And USC just capitalized on that, and that's the inhibitor for them, but they didn't get the dragon.
Yes. Also, I don't know, that ultimate coming out of Coheed, he put it onto Schnitzel. That was...
Yeah, not the best target choice right
yeah,
there.
I think that was one of the reasons why they lost that clash, because you would see before in all the previous clashes that they had, Coheed would put it into one of the better carries of UST, would possibly have been Jace Meister or Mephiche, but at that clash he didn't do any of that, and then he didn't have any safety for himself. He got immediately bursted down, and James Meister got himself a very easy and quick triple kill.
Yeah, and as a result, UST has now picked up that Baron now to help facilitate that push You've got the double teleport, you have that Rek'Sai ult, and you now have that Baron. Turrets shall fall within the next 30 minutes for this UST side.
Yeah, as well as a 12,000 gold lead coming out of UST's pocket. Look at that.
Lots of items being built, actually. We do see that James Meister was now able to pick up the Abyssal Scepter. Meanwhile, the Corki has picked up that last Whisper as well, so the thread is now here.
Yes, I kind of like as well this Abyssal Scepter, since Corki does deal mixed damage, so his Phosphorus Bomb complemented with an Abyssal will give him a bit more damage output. And then the last Whisper for his Gatling Gun and auto attacks. So the hybrid damage for the Corki is just there for UST to work with.
Yeah, we do see that UST is now rotating to a 4-0-1 split push positioning, and Zykin just dueling with Neil, slap fight.
Yeah, that's how you categorize the fighting of the tanks. They slap each other. But Neil is actually taking a slight advantage against, or rather Zykin is taking a slight advantage against Neil, as the heal, the Vorpal is all there. Nice explosive cast to push away the carry of UST, which is James Meister. But look at this, UST right now running rampant into the base of FEU. What can FEU do right now? I don't know. Looks like they want to finish this off. 13,000 goldie in their pocket. Can UST get themselves back, or can FEU get themselves back, or will UST just dominate?
It's gonna be really difficult. However, here comes the engage coming on to James Meister. However, the counter engage with that taunt is going in.
Yes, look at this. McRory gonna go in, actually misses the ultimate as the goal post from James Meister is there. The 2v1 with a slap fight from the tanks onto the carry of UST, not enough to kill him. The shield is so much there as Neil will be forced to back away. There's the shield, the Stan United, and the Crucible actually activated from Schnitzel just to catch out Jace Meister from that Ice Tube. And look at this, Kiddo will be slowed down by Schnitzel. They're gonna try to re-engage. What can they do? The Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't even kill Raze there. He was so low in HP, and Jace Meister gonna go in. They're gonna get the kill onto Neil. It's a 3-for-nothing trade. Can Kiddo get the executes?
Ooh.
No! The rocket from the face! Onto the face rather.
And that's game.
And that's game, as UST gives himself a very convincing 1 point against FEU. So it really looked like early on.
Yeah, UST was just able to keep that snowball, the advantage they got in the early game, just maintain it throughout the mid game and take the victory from there. FEU, they did have a pretty good showing. However, Kittle was just so far behind, not getting the resources he wanted. He wasn't able to do the damage during the team fights. Like, even though he had the perfect positioning during the team fights, he had no items. He had no items to do the damage. And he was just a sitting duck throughout the game. 176 as his score as we take a look at the scoreboard. And I really have to... There's not really one particular person on that UST side to give like the MVP award to. Like, all of the UST players played really well, did their role really well. Actually, Zykin for sure with those Stan United ults.
Yeah.
Had a really insane game. Like, so many saves right there.
Yeah, he slapped Kiddo in the face and said, nope, you're not gonna get any kills with
Probably
my
should have
shields.
used Surgeon Shen, you know. Maintain that doctor.
The doctorate.
The doctor role.
Save a life. How to save a life with the Dr. Shen. So guys, that was game 1 in the LCL playoffs. This was a match between UST and FEU. UST with a very dominant late game play there. But early game, it was in the hands of FEU for a little bit. But still, UST, rather early game, it was a little bit back and forth. And UST just solidified in the late game because Kiddo was not able to out-carry in terms of the items onto Mafij. And then Kiddo was always getting the brunt of the crowd controls of the tanky members of UST. And that just hindered him from carrying the game. Yes, Coheed was dealing as much damage as he can, but then you'd still want your secondary carry to deal damage in the clashes.
Yeah, and even then, in the late game, Coheed wasn't even doing that much damage as well. However, let's move on as
we're gonna go into the second match. That is
UST versus OLFU.
So OLFU now stepping up against UST. UST did give themselves a pretty nice momentum into their second game. So guys, we just like to remind you again, we're gonna give away game 3 these. Yeah, so we're gonna copy Shinbu. These skins right here, that is the Academy skins. All of them, guys, game 3 again. So we will be back after a very short break. I am, of course, Bad Boy Asarai with an I, and alongside here with me is...
And I'm classmate me.
We're gonna change that.
I need to get a new name. During the break, I'll be thinking of a new name, guys.
All right, so this has been game 1 of the Collegiate League playoffs. We'll be right back.